Yeah, I could start.
Okay. Hello, my name is Hutan Boone, but everyone calls me Tia. First, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to meet with me today and for considering me for early child care worker positions. I really enjoy working with young children over the years, and I'm always looking for ways to continue learning and growing as an educator. I'm excited to have an opportunity to share some of my experiences with you today. I appreciate you giving me this interview. First questions. Can you tell us about your previous experience working with young children? I've been working early child education for a little over 10 years now. Funny enough, I didn't originally plan on making it my career. I really started because I spent a lot of time volunteering in my son's classroom. The more I spent around the children and teachers, the more I realized this was something I really enjoyed. I love seeing how much growth could happen throughout the years. I found myself wanting to learn more and play a bigger part in that growth. That led me to earn my associate degree in early childhood education and began working in Head Start classroom. Every year have taught me something new. I learned that two classes are exactly alike and two children learn the same way. Child develop, Question two, child development and teaching philosophy. Can you give an example of how you adapted your teaching approach for children with different styles or developmental needs? Working in Head Start means teaching children between ages of 3 and 5. And during those years, there is a tremendous amount of development happening. Even children who are only a few months apart in age have a very different communication skills, attention span, and a fine motor abilities. Because of that, I learned that flexibility is one of the most important parts of teaching. Whenever I'm planning a lessons, I consider different ways for children to participate. Some children enjoy sitting and listening, and others learn better when they can move, touch, and explore. One thing I noticed over the year is that many preschoolers are drawn to sensory activities, especially water play. One activities I use involve in placing different sized toys animal into bins of waters. Children search for the animals and sort them into a group based on size while they're having fun. I guide them in practicing vocabulary, observations, following directions, and counting. Traditional worksheets are not age appropriate, and this type of learning keeps children engaged because the activity feels like play. These experiences have reminded me that children learn best when they're actively involved. Question three. How do you plan handle challenging behaviors in the classroom, such as tantrums or conflicts between children? One thing I learned over the years is that challenging behaviors are often a child's way of communicating something they don't yet have the word to express. Because of that, I stay calm and approach each situations with patience rather than frustrations. If a child is having a tantrum, my priority is helping them feel safe. I usually invite them to quiet area of the classroom, like our library, where we can settle down together. I never want children to feel embarrassed or punished for having a big feelings. Instead, I want them to know that I'm here to help them work through those emotions. Once they're calmed, we talk about what happened. I ask simple questions to help them identify how they are feeling and discuss other ways they might respond the next time they're upset. When conflicts happens between children, I make sure everyone has a chance to explain what happened. We practice listening, using kind words, and thinking about solutions together. I try to use those solutions or learning opportunities so they can build problem solving and communication skills they continue using in life. Question four. How do you build relationship? and communicates with parents or caregivers about their child's progress. I believe that families are children's first teachers, so building positive relationships with parents and caregivers is important. I try to make those connections from the very beginning by greeting families warmly, introducing myself, and creating an environment where they feel comfortable talking with me. Throughout the school years, I make it a point to share both successes and challenges. Parents appreciate hearing about the positive moments, whether it's a child making a new friend, learning a new skill, or showing kindness to another student. I share them because families deserve to celebrate those milestones too. Research from Annie E. Cassie Foundation has shown that family involvement can have a tremendous impact on a child's success in school, and that's something I see reflected throughout my career. When teachers and families communicate openly and work towards the same goals, children benefit from that consistency both at school and at home. I also understand that every family communicates differently. Some parents prefer quick conversations during pickup, others, while others appreciate phone calls, conferences, or written updates. Being flexible and approachable helps build trust, and those relationships ultimately support children's growth. Question 5. How do you ensure the health and safety of children in your care, both indoor and outdoors? Keeping children safe is one of the biggest responsibility we have as an educator. Every year I participate in a required training that cover classroom sanitations, food safety, emergency procedures, mandated reporting, and CPR. Those training help keep my knowledge current and prepare me for situations. Safety also comes from being intentional about the learning environment. I like to keep the classroom organized so children have room to explore while I can still clearly supervise every area. I check that materials are safe, age appropriate, and in a good conditions. Throughout the day, we review classroom expectation together, like walking indoors, using materials appropriately, washing our hands, and treating classmates respectfully. When we outside, I am constantly observing both children's and environment. I pay attention to weather conditions, playground safeties, and anything else that could affect children's well-being. There have been times when we stay indoor because it was simply too hot or too wet, or the playground wasn't saved. As as Mandy explains in ECE University, early childhood health and safety, building a secure start for young learners, creating environments where children can feel safe, healthy, and free to explore isn't optional. It is the foundations of effective learning. I couldn't agree more because children learn best when they know they're saved. Question 6. How do you handle a situation where children lose interest in activities or become disengaged? Preschoolers have naturally short attention span, so I don't see losing interest as something negative. Instead, I usually take it as a sign that activities need some adjustment. If I notice children becoming restless, I make the lesson more interactive. For example, if we're reading a story and I see their attention drift, I'll invite them to stand up and act out the characters while I read. Sometimes I'll turn learning into a game, add music or movement, or give children opportunity to make choices within activities. Those small changes can make a big differences in keeping children learning engaged. I found that children are much more successful when learning feels fun and meaningful. My goal is to create an experiences that encourage curiosity and make them excited to participate. Question 7. What is one of your greatest strengths as an early childhood educator? I would say one of my greatest strengths is my willingness to keep learning. Education is always changing, and I don't think anyone ever reaches a point where they know everything. Every year, I participate in professional development opportunities because I want to continue improving my skills and learning new strategies that benefit my students. I'm also someone who enjoy reflecting on my own teaching. If something doesn't work, I don't see it as a failure. Instead, I ask myself what I could change or improve next time. Being open to feedbacks has helped me grow both personally and professionally. Most importantly, I genuinely enjoy working with young children. Every day is different, and every child brings something unique to the classroom. Watching children grow academically, socially, and emotionally over the course of the school year is incredibly rewarding, and that's what continued to motivate me after more than 10 years in early childhood education. Thank you so much.